Okay, so this is your Unit 1 review. Hopefully you're watching this and studying your math. By studying math, I mean redoing your problems, because if you can do these problems, you should be perfect on the test. Okay, Josh has organized his personal information to calculate his net worth in a table. So this table represents all his assets and liabilities. What we gotta do is we gotta separate them into assets and liabilities. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put an A for an asset and L for a liability next to the number. So a student loan is a liability because you have to pay it off. A checking account is an asset because that's your money in your bank. Auto loan is a liability because you have to pay back the car. A credit card is a liability. Your car value is an asset. Personal property is an asset. Cash on hand is an asset. And savings account is an asset. So now I'm going to add up all my A's. So my first A is 2,000, if I could write. 2,275. My next A is 4,500. My next asset is 750. My next one is 150. My last one is 1,100. So you add them all up. When you add them up, you get $8,775 as your assets. So now we're going to do our L's, our liabilities. My first one's 14,350. My next one is 1,340. And my final one is 790. So when you add them all up, you get $16,480. So my liabilities are bigger than my assets. So my net worth is going to be negative. So I'm going to have to subtract these numbers. When you subtract them, you get $7,705, but that'd be a negative. And if you're looking at your review, the answer choice should be B. All right, number 2. Alex discovered an error in her checking registry and recalculated her balance, determining that she was overdrawn. Her balance in her checking account is a negative. I know that's a little spacing is a little weird. The negative should be right here. Is a negative $567.43. Alex has saved 2 of her paychecks, each in the amount of $374.50 for a special occasion. If Alex deposited both checks in her checking account, what would be Alex's balance now? So we know that she has 2 checks worth $374.50. So she has 2 of them. You can just add it again or just times it by 2, which I will do. So when you times it by 2, you get $749 exactly. So she's about to put $749 into her bank. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the $749 and we're going to subtract it by the negative amount in her bank account. So when you subtract it, you should get $172.57. And that will be her new balance, and that'll be a positive $172.57 because she put more in there than she overdrawn. All right, number 3. To complete a planter box, Mr. Shumway will purchase cedar boards that are 2 inches wide by 10 feet long. You'll need to cut the length of the boards into pieces that are 2.5 inches long. How many pieces can Mr. Shumway cut from 10-foot long board? So you can determine how many he'll need to purchase. So the first thing is, I have a 10-foot long board, and I'm going to cut pieces 2.5 inches into it. My units aren't the same, so I'm going to have to change that. So I have 10 feet, and I'm going to multiply that by 12 inches, and then you get 120. So I am buying a 120 inch long board. So we're going to take this 120, and I'm going to divide it by 2.5 feet. Well, I know 2.5 is just 2.5. So when I divide 120 by 2.5, you get 48. Okay, well, let's say I just did 120 divided by 2.5 because I didn't know what it was as a decimal. So if I change it to a improper fraction, it'll look like this. It'll be 120. I'm going to put this over 1 since I'm dividing fractions. Division symbol. 2.5 changes to improper, which is 5 over 2. Here, you keep it, switch it, flip it. So you keep the first fraction, switch the division to multiplication, and flip the second fraction, and then just multiply straight across. So then you're going to get 140 over 5, which then you just divide that and you get 48. So you get the exact same answer, but so those are two different ways to do it, just in case if you didn't know how to change it to a decimal. All right, number 4. Julio has 4 3/4 cups of sugar. The recipe for a crepe he is making calls for 1.5 cups of sugar, and he also needs 7 cups of sugar for a pudding recipe. How much more sugar will Julio need to make the crepe and pudding? Okay, so he already has 4 3/4, or 4.75, 4 3/4, and he needs 1.5 cups of sugar plus another 7 cups of sugar for the pudding recipe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 7 cups of sugar he needs plus the other 1.5 cups of sugar he needs, and that equals 8.5. So 8.5 cups of sugar is what he needs. He already has 4 3/4. So I'm going to take the cups of sugar he needs, and I'm going to subtract from what he already has. So when I subtract that, you get 3.75. So then he'll get 3 3/4 cups of sugar. He only needs to go out and buy 3 3/4 cups of sugar. All right, number 5. Griffin and his friend both started a part-time job at Sonic, earning $9 an hour. Griffin worked 12.5 hours for this first week. Griffin's friend agreed to drive him to work if he would give him 1/8 of his salary for gas. How much money did Griffin pay his friend for gas? So he worked 12.5 hours, which is just 12.5, and he makes $9 an hour. So you're going to multiply that by 9. When you multiply by 9, you get $112.50. Okay? That's how much he made. That's not our answer, though. They're asking us how much he's going to give his friend. So he's going to give him 1/8 of something. Well, how do you break something up in eighths? You divide it. So you're going to divide 8 into $112.50. When you do that, it'll come out to $14.06, and so on. It'll continue on. We'll just round it up there. So he'll owe his friend about $14. Okay, number 6. Nicole went to Walmart store and purchased a case of soda for $5.75, a movie for $5.50, and candy for $1.25. She paid with a $20 bill. How much change did you receive? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add up everything. So we're going to do $5.75 plus $5.50 plus another $1.25. When you add them all up, it's $12.50. So she spent $12.50 at the store. So she's going to take her $20 bill and subtract it. And we're not going to include tax in this one, not just yet. So you subtract them. So you subtract it. She should get $7.50 back. So the cashier owes her $7.50. All right, number 7. Please use a table below to find the tax rate. So Julie is single. She has an income of $40,125. What's the amount she'll pay in her income tax? So she's single, so we're going to be looking at this table. She makes $40,125 in income, so she'll be in the third row. So she'll be in this one because it's in between those two numbers. So it means her tax rate is 25%. So we're going to multiply this by 25%, which is 0.25. So when you multiply it out, I won't do it. It will come out to $10,031.25. So that's how much income tax you'll pay. Very quick problem. Okay, number 8. Ashley purchased 2 purses for $22.50 each and a jacket for $60.75. The sales tax rate is 8%. How much total sales tax will Ashley pay on these items? Okay, so she bought 2 purses for $22.50 each. So I'm going to write that both down so I don't lose it. Plus another jacket for $60.75. It's an expensive jacket. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to add them all up. When you add it all up, you get $105.75. Okay? What I just found is your subtotal. The second step is to find your tax. So you're going to take your subtotal and you're going to multiply it by the tax rate, which is 8%, so you 0.08. So you multiply it. When you multiply it, you get 8.46, and I rounded it up, so you get 8.46. So that's your tax. That's actually the answer, because it says how much sales tax will she have to pay? Well, she'll have to pay 8.46. If I could draw an arrow. And that's the answer. But if I asked you the total purchase price, your third and final step would have to add those together. So when you finally add them together, you get $114.21. And that's how much she'll have to pay for her total purchase price. But again, they're only asking for the amount of tax she has to pay. All right, number 9. Brian went to Trader Joe's. He bought 1.5 of cheese. That's supposed to say pounds at $5 a pound, and 5 3/4 pounds of peanuts at 50 cents per pound. He paid with a $20 bill. How much change did Brian receive? It's supposed to be he. So you're going to take 1.5 pounds. I'm going to make that 1.5, and I'm going to multiply it by $5. So it becomes out $7.50. I'm going to take the peanuts, which is 5 3/4, so 5.75 times by 50 cents. When you do that, it'll come out to 2.875. 2.875. And I round it up to 2.88. So we're going to take the $7.50, add $2.88 to that. And when you do that, you get $10.38. So Brian spent $10.38 at the store. That's not what the answer is. So you got to take the $20 bill he gave the cashier and subtract it. When you subtract it, it comes out to $9.62. So his change will be $9.62. Okay. So if you're in my regular class, the video is done. You're done with your review. Good job, guys. If you're in my advanced class, you need to continue on. Okay. So number 1, place the word in the correct location on the diagram. So the first word is real. Real is everything. So it goes on the outside of the box. Or basically, yeah. Rational is the first circle. Irrational is a circle all by itself. Whole is the second to last. Integer is right after rational. And natural is the last one, which is also called counting. Okay, that was a quick review. Okay, whoops, go back. Number 2, Mark used a microscope to measure the diameter of a dog hair. He found that the diameter of the dog hair was 0.0000 and so on to 503. And he wants to write it scientific notation. So we're going to take 0.0. I'm going to count the zeros first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 0, 3. I'm going to count that again to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Okay, so this is the number that we want to change to scientific notation. So we're going to take our decimal and we're going to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to stop it there. So our answer will be 5.03 times 10 to the negative 7. The reason why it's negative is because you just converted a decimal to scientific notation. All right, one more, guys. Miss Tiffy wrote the number 5.32 times 10 to the 8th power on the board. Write the number expressed in standard decimal notation. Okay, I know I have not used this word, basically what that standard decimal notation is meaning, change the number back. So you're going to take 5.32, and since your exponent is 8, I'm going to move my decimal 8 to the right because it's positive. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And all these blank places, put zeros. So I should have 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. So my final answer, I'm going to rewrite this. And I'm going to put my commas. Should be $532 million. Or not dollars, just the number. Hey, that's your 8th grade review. Hey, thank you guys.